You're watching Alaska's news source.
Tonight, the FBI has released photos of a person of interest connected to the shooting death of political activist Charlie Kirk.
Kirk, 31 years old, was shot while engaging with a group on the campus of Utah Valley University yesterday. The FBI has recovered a gun believed to have been used by the shooter, which is described as a bolt-action rifle. They also say that they have video evidence as they work to find the gunman. That includes cell phone video from witnesses at the event showing someone who seemed to be standing on a rooftop on the school building, dressed in dark clothing. Police believe that the shooter jumped off of that building after the attack and ran into a nearby neighborhood. Investigators say that they're still piecing everything together.
We have tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location.
The FBI says they're analyzing phrases written on the gun and the ammunition used by the shooter. They're also looking into some foot and palm prints and a screwdriver that was found. A reward of up to $100,000 is being offered for information that leads to a successful arrest. President Donald Trump says he will award Charlie Kirk with a posthumous Medal of Freedom. As all this plays out, our Joe Allgood talked to a criminology professor about the investigation and about security.
Now, he says typically universities have a little bit more of a relaxed security detail when it's not an official politician that's holding an event. In Kirk's case, things maybe could have been handled a little differently.
So by virtue of that, the security part is obviously something that we need to talk about for future events across the universities and colleges in the U.S.
We're staying on top of any developments from this situation, and we'll have more tonight on the Late Edition. And for the first time today, the Sandpoint boat captain who police shot was in court.
Prosecutors say he attempted to escape and he threatened an officer with a hatchet as they seized nearly 6 figures worth of drugs. Our investigative team's Johnson Kuhn was in the courtroom this afternoon for his arraignment. Johnson, what do you know?
That's right, John. For the first time, as you said, we saw the suspect, 42-year-old boat captain Duke Ogata, in an Anchorage jail courtroom. This days after prosecutors say officers seized drugs valued in Sandpoint at nearly $1 million off his boat in Sandpoint last week. A judge today is setting Ogata's bail at $30,000. Court documents say Ogata's boat, Lady Joanne, was already on the Coast Guard's radar. They say they suspected possible drug possession before it reached Sandpoint from Seattle on September 1st. Once docked, officers executed a search warrant. Officers escorted Ogata and another crew member off the ship as they searched. They say Ogata attempted to sneak back on the boat and escape. And they say when Sandpoint police chief tried to make contact with him, Ogata pulled out a hatchet. Prosecutors say after he asked the chief, quote, "Do you really want to die over this?" the chief shot him. Ogata, who was medevac for treatment. In addition to drug charges, he's also facing an assault charge. And a pre-indictment hearing was also scheduled for 1 p.m. on September 18th. Those court documents say the drug street value significantly increases in a place like Sandpoint because it's relatively isolated and only accessible by air or boat. Prosecutors estimate the drugs Ogata had were worth between about $669,000 and $986,000. Johnson Kuhn, Alaska's news source.
Johnson, thanks so much. And transitioning now, clouds, rain, and chilly temperatures today. Fall is here.
Augusta said it. Yes, it is. Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry, you're tracking it all. What's coming up next?
Well, that particular storm is going to stick with us for about another 24 to 36 hours. We'll be done with it by Saturday morning, but it's always impressive when one storm impacts most of the state, but equally impressive when it sticks with us for about 4 days, which is the case with this one. So that area of pressure pushing onto the east. The heaviest rain has already come to an end in southeast, but we are still seeing another round of that heavy rain tonight and tomorrow, really north of Kenai all the way out to Prince William Sound, Whittier, Portage, Girdwood, Anchorage up into the valley. Those are the areas that we'll see, again, pretty consistent heavy rainfall overnight tonight, off and on through most of Friday, continuing all the way into Saturday morning. So you can see that really filling back in at this hour across Anchorage Bowl. Those yellows and oranges, that's the higher elevations of the Chugach Mountains. You get that extra lift. It can squeeze out some additional rainfall, but I do expect the rainfall intensity to even increase across the lower elevations here later tonight into tomorrow morning. We do still have concerns for additional flooding along the Yentna River near Lake Creek because of this heavy rain. And further north, all of this moisture still transitioning to snow. We've already seen snow accumulating there earlier today. Denali Borough, another 2 to 4 inches heading into tomorrow. So again, Anchorage across most of South Central, be ready for a wet commute tomorrow morning. Temperatures starting out in the low to mid 40s, and we're not going to climb much, struggling to even get up to 50 degrees. Across the interior, some scattered showers and chilly temperatures for you. Lingering showers in southeast, but the sunshine, that's holding in Bethel, but so is the cold air. 47 for your high temperature tomorrow. I'll have a closer look at the details on this rain and snow and, of course, your weekend forecast.
That we will never yield, we will never bend, we will never give up, and our great American flag will never, ever fail.
And those are the words of President Donald Trump earlier today in Virginia, honoring the lives lost on September 11th, 2001. That's when terrorists hijacked 4 commercial airplanes. 2 crashed into the World Trade Centers in New York City. A third one crashed into the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. And passengers on the 4th plane fought back against terrorists on board, forcing it to crash into a field in Pennsylvania.
Nearly 3,000 people in total were killed in those attacks. Fallen heroes from that day are being honored all across the country, including right here in Alaska. A fallen firefighter memorial ceremony is getting underway right now in downtown Anchorage.
Yep, Charlie Fellows is there. Charlie, please describe the mood there right now and what you're seeing.
Yeah, I'm here at the Alaska Fallen Firefighters Memorial in downtown Alaska, downtown Anchorage, I should say. A little bit set back now as the ceremony is getting started as we speak. Firefighters, public officials, and just private citizens all here to gather, all gathering to remember the lives of the 41 firefighters who have given their lives to protect the communities of Alaska since 1933. And there's actually going to be a 42nd name added to the memorial here. Every name has a plaque behind me, a sobering reminder of the risks that firefighters took both on that day 24 years ago to this day on the September 11th terrorist attacks, but every time they respond to a call for help from the community. John, Augusta, back to you.
Charlie Fellows. Charlie, thanks so much. And Fort Wainwright also held a ceremony today honoring those who lost their lives in the terrorist attacks. Service members, state leaders, civilians, and community members gathered on base as a ceremonial bell rang to accompany the flag being lowered to half-staff. A ceremonial wreath was also laid along with taps, Amazing Grace, and the Star-Spangled Banner being played. Artifacts from the 2001 attacks like photos, a fireman's shirt, and wreckage debris also on display.
Well, another way to honor the firefighters who trekked up countless flights of stairs to try and save lives as the Twin Towers collapsed by holding fundraisers and stair climbs in their honor. The Great Alaska 9/11 Stair Climb is happening tonight at the Carlson Center in Fairbanks. The event raises money for the interior of Alaska's Fallen First Responder Fund. It's open to the public, and all first responders and military groups are encouraged to attend, again at the Carlson Center. Another stair climb took place at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson today. It was hosted by the base's Fire and Emergency Services at the J-Bear Training Grounds. 100 climbers wore 60 pounds of gear and climbed 110 flights of stairs.
It helps us remember something unforgettable. Those are the words of an Anchorage firefighter who took part in the 9/11 Step Challenge today. Our Lauren Maxwell tells us it's been a tradition in Anchorage for 14 years.
Dozens of Anchorage firefighters hit the gym Thursday to take part in an exhausting workout.
There are stair climb challenges all over the nation today to remember those who are not with us anymore because of September 11th.
They pushed themselves for 11 minutes to see how close they could get to completing 110 steps, the number of stories on the World Trade Center. It's an exercise none of them took lightly.
Nor do they dress lightly. I've got the gear on. It weighs an additional 50 or 60
pounds. Just ask Anchorage Fire Chief Doug Schrage.
I feel like I'm about 4 breaths away from a sudden cardiac arrest.
Schrage has completed the challenge nearly every year. And kidding aside, he was one of the very few in the room to be on duty that day.
We all gathered around the TV and we watched with horror as we saw the planes crashing into the first tower.
It was a first-step challenge for firefighter EMT Emma Packard, and also an emotional one. She showed us a tattoo in memory of her great-uncle.
He was one of the 343 firefighters that passed that day with his whole company of Squad 41.
Like others here, she's determined to honor that sacrifice.
It helps us remember something that is unforgettable.
And some say it reminds them why they serve. Lauren Maxwell, Alaska's news source.
All right, well, it is Thursday, so we are looking back at Alaska's history.
This week, Justin Mattson and Joe Allgood chatted about what happened this week in history.
Joe, I got a question for you. What do you know about the office of the governor?
Well, I know probably, the basics that everyone knows. It is in Juneau, and it's occupied by Mike Dunleavy, and right now, currently, it's had several other past governors, and
Those are the facts.
That's the basics.
Did you know that in 1906 on September 8th was when it officially moved to Juneau? Can you guess where it moved from?
I did not know that, and I could guess many different places. Anchorage would, 1906, not Anchorage.
1906.
Maybe Fairbanks? I don't know.
It came from Sitka, actually. Kind of interesting, right?
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.